What's going on, my bad adventure teams? My bad here, coming in today with a Tusk Knives Tuesday live. I hope you are doing a good day. I see Donovan and BC's already in the chat. How are y'all doing today? Today's guest is Wyatt Hines. Wyatt Hines is what I would call a master bladesmith. The reason why I call him a master bladesmith is he does fantastic work. Everything that I've ever gotten from him, the fit and finish is absolutely on point. It's awesome. I've never had to sharpen one of his knives, and I have taken it out and beat the crap out of some stuff with these things. I got a jug kill coming up in a couple of days that I'm going to shoot out as a video that I'm using the heart stopper in. And in the future, when I get a deer down, or my mother gets a deer down, I'll be doing some butcher videos on deer with this cleaver that he built me. And I'm going to see what the Jackal can do on precision butchering. But anyways, here's Wyatt Hines. Go ahead, man. Tell them about yourself.
Oh, not a whole lot to tell, really. Just make some knives in the shop every now and again. People seem to buy them and like them, so.
What's going on, Chunk and Steel? Donovan, BC, I've already hollered at y'all. How y'all doing today?
Yeah.
Well, I guess since me and you've talked for about a year and a half now, we've been in communications for quite a while. I've seen most of the design cutouts that you have. A lot of them are your own personal design, and some things, say like the Jackal is kind of like a Donovan 2 design that he asked you to make something bigger or make a better version of it, in my opinion, maybe in Donovan's as well. But what are a couple of your own specific designs that you enjoy the most making?
Well, I mean, I really like to do the big Bowie knives and stuff, but mostly it's just people want whatever they want, really. So it don't matter if I like to make it or not. They just want, some custom design. I'm like, okay, I'll make that.
Okay.
And then, I mean, I tried to do a couple designs to begin with, but they never really caught on or anything. So
What's going on, Grugs? How you doing today? Are you thinking maybe into going into your own, making your own brand? Maybe doing your own Wyatt Hines custom design. This is what Wyatt Hines does, and start selling this.
yeah, I think so. I think I'll just make like, a couple designs or whatever. Every now and again, I'll make one and then sell it off or something.
Yeah.
But
What's going on, Matt Pearson? I know that me and you talking about you OEMing for me on a dagger design. Is that something that you're still interested in?
I mean, yeah, I told you I'd do that before, so I'll still do it for you.
Yeah.
I already told you would,
And I kind of named this live after that knife. We was going to name it the Tusk Pick. It's kind of like an EDC version of the Arkansas toothpick.
Let me see.
So,
I think I got the paper right over here. Let me see real quick.
what's going on, Nicholas Edwards? You need to hit me up on Instagram and holler at me, Nicholas. We gotta schedule you for 2 more Tuesdays, brother. Tonight I'm eating a little pina colada. This is a vinegar dipping sauce, and it's Filipino. So pour a little bit in there. I'm gonna get me some of my embalmed jerky out and dip it in there and eat a little bit of that.
All right.
What's going on, Pupper?
There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of the EDC dagger. I think we was talking about like 3 3/4 inches on the handle and about 4 1/4 on the blade. Somewhere around that.
Let's see, it's right at 4 inches on the handle and 4.5 on the blade.
4.5. But we was in there. That's and I'm thinking about having it as an EDC dagger.
Yeah.
That's scout carryable, so it fits easier on your back. You can use it as an EDC blade or a self-defense blade. Is kind of what I was thinking about. Of course, the Arkansas toothpick was originally designed to be a self-defense and bushcraft blade.
Yeah. I'm going to be making like a 14-inch one here for one of my buddies. So that's gonna be interesting.
Oh
And
yeah, that's gonna be a beast. I'd
yeah, it's
love to
gonna
see
be
that.
that like I have leaf springs. They start at like half-inch in the middle, and they taper down to about quarter-inch on the end. So it'll be out of that one, so it'll have the full taper to the blade too. So it's gonna be a beast. Like, it's like that it's like the blade that I did for the original one I did for Timbo that I screwed the handle up on, and Donovan ended up buying. Did a video yesterday on it, I think. It's like it's stupid thick, you know. The blade's like 3/8 where it starts.
Woo, that's a thick boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, that's if you can't do a little damage with that knife, you probably don't deserve to be swinging a knife.
Yeah, it's gonna be double-sided too. So
Yeah,
mm,
you
yeah,
better watch out.
take finger off real quick. Donovan
So
almost
you was
cut his
talking
thumb
about
off. Huh?
making your own knives and designs. What, if I may ask, what designs are you looking into making for yourself for your own brand?
Well, I really like that, like the harpoon clip point style blade. And I've always liked that kind of the style blade and the Bowie knives and stuff. But I also like the traditional Bowie knives and things. You know, people don't really make them. Bark River makes them every now and again, but you know, it'd be cool to bring back some original designs and stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet. Having like a Texas Arkansas flair too, because the Bowie knife was actually originated in Arkansas as well
Yeah,
as the Arkansas toothpick, but it was made famous in Texas, of course.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Well,
doing like a 10-inch blade one for chicken steel here. You know, but you got the drawing over there. Yeah.
well, I'm pretty excited to see a couple of your own designs. Once again, I've bought 3 blades from you. I think Donovan two's got me beat by like 15 blades. I think Donovan owns 18 of your
Something like
designs.
that. Yeah. It was quite a few, for sure.
Yeah.
And he buys up anybody who doesn't want theirs or whatever, or backs out, he'll buy that one up too. So probably has copies of the same designs.
Well, man, I think he has two of the jackals. I know for sure.
He has 2 of the jackals, 2 of the Wakashitties, 2 of the choppers, 2 of the heart stoppers.
Yeah, the walkies. Are you going to still make the walkies?
I might. It seemed to be pretty popular,
Well,
but
I've had a couple of guys that's asked me if I knew somebody that can make them, and I sent one of them to you, Chris. I don't know if he ever followed through. Probably didn't.
oh
But
no, yeah, I'm making him one right now. It's a 10-inch blade. It's like an inch and a half wide.
okay, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it'd be a good size one.
hmm I probably would want one in the future as well, but
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't have a picture of what I would use it for yet. I guess I could do bottle kills with it like I do with the Heartstopper, but the Heartstopper is to me, this Heartstopper is a multi-purpose blade.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's too big piece of embalmed jerky.
I think old Matt Pearson named that one there the Woods Master or something.
Yeah, well, this Heartstopper Woods Master, whatever you want to call it, man.
Yeah.
The thing I like about it is the handle, and it's got that forward weight because of this. So it's a
Mm,
good wood chopper when you're out in there, and you can definitely swing it like a machete should be swinged.
yeah.
So it's
And that
got that
one there is
machete
thinner
action.
too.
Do what?
That one there is thinner too. It's
Yeah, I mean that thing's a freaking beast, man. When I was, I wished. I'm probably going to take it back out there in 2 weeks and clear some more fire lanes. But bow season's starting up this weekend. I'm not even going to be able to get into the woods. I'm taking the girls to a little country fest, a little carnival.
mm,
So we're going to do that instead of going out in the woods. But In 2 weeks, when I do go out in the woods, I'm gonna take it back out there and probably do another video.
Let's see. Gerbs asked something about heat treat.
He was saying, when I heat treat those blades, I would focus on the blade or the whole knife. Well, I guess he's asking you if he would focus on the tang as well. And me and you had a conversation about that specifically with the Heartstopper as well.
Yeah. So for that Gerbs, I normally just heat treat just the blade. Like I'll get it hot to about. Let's see here. This is a Bark River knife, but I'll get it to hot to about right in here, about where the first finger is, and then I'll quench it that way. But like my bad was testing out on his blade the other day with that pommel spike. I don't heat treat the handles because it gives you better shock absorption when you're chopping and stuff. But having that spike on there, all the other ones I did were so much thicker that it held up. But since yours had the thinner stock and you were smashing that metal and rolled that tip over a little bit, so I'm thinking I need to heat up that after I do the quench on here. I can flip it around and just heat up that very tip of that handle there and quench it, and then still have that shock absorption in the center here.
Yeah, we was also talking about how many jackasses do you know is going to take that knife out and abuse it like that, like I did.
Some people.
Donovan probably freaking shit his pants and was pissed when he saw me do that.
Maybe. But it can always be fixed up anyway.
Chuck and Still says, "Wyatt, show the real buoy."
Oh, yeah. All right. Hold on. I just grabbed all the ones I had drawn up. Well, so this is what I'm doing for checking.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's got a backwards blade, and then it's gonna have a sharpened clip too.
Yeah.
And he wanted it modeled after like the case buoy, but it has a 10-inch blade instead of like the 8 or whatever it is.
How's it going, Isaac? Hope you're doing well today. I bet you're playing with all kinds of 110s.
Can you guess which one this is? Donovan knows which one this is. That was a tricky one to draw up. That was I don't even know what it is. Some kind of Spyderco. And that's Pistol Pete's little rhino knife. You had 3 different sizes. And there's something I drew up for Greg at one point.
Yeah, that's a lot like that Cold Steel, that little Cold Steel that Grugs has. I can't remember the Imperium or something like that.
I think it's the Immortal. He wanted like a little blade drawn up. So, and then Concerned Ozzy asked me to draw up him a little knife, right? I drew up this, and I completely forgot what he had asked for because that's what he really wanted.
Yeah.
That's way off. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got drawn up in there.
So are these all somebody else's designs or something, or are they more of your designs? I know that one that you just drew up is probably your design now because you made that. Even if you was way off.
This one here is after the Cold Steel Bird and Trout, and it's for Concerned Ozzy asked me to draw that up, and then that one's after the Mortal Folding Knife, and Grug said me draw that one up. And
how'd you like it?
That one I haven't had the actual pocket knife, but this one here I cannot remember the name of it, but I think Donovan says a Spyderco Shimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Donovan had me draw that up. And then this was Pistol Pete's design. He had this one, and then the bigger one, or the medium one, is one he has now. He already has, and then there's a bigger one that I'm making him.
Well, that rhino right there, that thing is sweet. I really dig that.
That rhino is a monster. The one I'm making him now is a 15-inch blade. It's half-inch thick. It's going to be like a wrist breaker.
Hmm.
So, yeah. What we got in here going on, I guess.
So what stills are you working with right now?
Well, I use the Nitro V sometimes, but it's a real pain to work with that Nitro V. It's so hard because when you buy the steel from the like New Jersey Steel Baron or Alpha Knife Supply, it's already annealed and everything. So all you really need to do is just quench it. But I'll run it through the forge a few times, get it up to temp, and let it air cool, and it'll refine the grain structure of the steel a little bit more, and it'll also allow you to get the steel a little bit harder in the end when you quench it too. But the Nitro V is at like 58 HRC. Like I have these M42 carbide bits that'll cut through hardened carbon steel, but they won't even cut through the unhardened Nitro V. I had to get solid carbide bits that'll cut up to, I think, like 65 HRC just to cut this steel. It's insane.
Yeah.
And it's super tough too. It's like 1075 on the toughness, which is just outrageous. But it does rust easier than most stainless steels though, because it's higher carbon content.
Mm-hmm.
But then I use 5160 bar stock. I use that every now and again. And then the leaf springs, and I always mark the leaf springs LS. I don't ever put 5160 on there because I'm not entirely sure if they're 5160 or not. They could be something else. There's no records of what they use. There's just records of what shipments of steel got delivered to what warehouses at like certain times. So they can kind of be like, well, there's this certain steels that could have been used to make leaf springs kind of deal, but they don't actually know. Now it's all just 5160, all the newer ones. But the older ones, I've seen all different kinds of things. And when just the other day, I doing a blade for Redneck Renegade and doing a blade for my mom, and they're both made out of leaf springs. And when I tempered them for this, I tempered them same heat, same amount of time, pull them out. The one for Redneck is like the dark purplish color, and then the other one is like a very light golden color. But they're both leaf springs. And then I did an 80 CRV2 blade, and the 80 CRV2 was the same as Redneck's blade. So obviously that one I'm doing for my mom is a different kind of steel. I just have no idea what it is.
I got you.
There's no way to know unless you like cut a piece off and send it to a lab to be tested, basically.
And that's what, $150 a pop?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We tried.
You'd probably have to talk to LTK about that when he gets some budget knives from China. He'll do the test on them.
Yeah.
But I saw that. Let's see. Chuck and Still, be safe going home. How's it going, Grumpy? And Shark Guy ATX, what's up? How are y'all doing tonight? And Chuck and Still, if you're still listening, usually run my lives about an hour and a half, just depending on what we're talking about. BC said something about just refresh page. I guess thanks, Mr. Grumpy Grunt. Oh, let's see what else we got. Just a whole bunch of highs. I'm showing 8 now, 9. Oh, y'all were talking about likes. Okay.
Rugg said something about 1/2 inch thick.
Yeah, I think he was. I don't know what he was talking about, but I believe he was talking about the Imperial. But anyways, so you're saying that a lot of leaf springs, there's no telling what you can get. Most generally, they might be 5160, but you don't ever put 5160 on there because it might not be. You just put LS for leaf spring. And then you got the Nitro V, which straight out of the box is harder than well, not harder, but will tear up a blade or a bit faster than carbon steel that's treated.
It won't. The bits won't even cut it.
Yeah.
It'll hit it and just squeal. Nothing happens. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Wyatt Hines has a YouTube channel that he will rant and rave about certain dickheads within the knife community and show you what he's doing with his blades. So yeah, you can definitely check out Wyatt Hines' channel. Grugs, if you have it, please cue him up. I meant BC Gerbs. I don't know why I said Grugs. Gerbs, if you got it, cue him up, man. You said that the Rhino for Pistol Pete was going to be a 1/2 inch thick. That's what he was referring to.
Yeah, it's that Mega Rhino one. It's going to be 15-inch long blade. It's actually like, I think it's a 1/16 of an inch under 1/2 inch or something, because I have a full 1/2 inch leaf spring from an old semi truck. So, best guess on what kind of steel that is. And then I have some new springs off like an F350, and those are basically pretty much 5160, like, because that's all they use now. So Pistol Pete decided to go with the new springs over the old springs, so it's just like a tiny bit thinner than 1/2 inch.
Okay. Jerbs had a question about railroad tracks. He said, "What do you think about the steel plate that train tracks are pinned with?"
Well,
I would consider them probably pretty tough, but I don't know how they would heat treat, of course.
I have a couple of them, and they're tough steel, and like so are the pins that they drive them in with. I think if you want like the hardest part, it would probably be the track itself where the wheels ride on. I think that's actually the hardest part of any of that stuff. But then again, you got to cut through all that. So I don't know how you do that. And but yeah, it's really tough. But from what I've heard, it doesn't hold the best edge or anything. So I mean, it'll make you a tough knife. Just won't
Push
hold an
craft
edge.
beater, something that's easily sharpened in the field, tougher than hell. If you hit a rock or something, if you live up in the hills like I used to, or in the mountains or something, maybe.
Yeah, you're not gonna ever chip it or break it. It'll just smash. Basically, get it right.
Roll it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't know, man. I was kind of thinking about the Nitro V, but we was talking about a different steel that could possibly go with it as well. I just can't remember what we was talking about.
The CTS XHP.
Yes, CTS XHP. So, have you started working with the CTS XHP yet, or are you
No,
waiting for me to buy you a couple bar stocks?
well, it'll be whenever you get around to buying it. Basically, I
Okay.
could do like a test one at first if you want, because there should be a little bit of extra steel.
Yeah, I'm
But
wanting to do. I'm wanting to. Well, I guess it'd be a prototype, but it's going to end up becoming my knife as well. But yeah, I'm wanting a prototype that I can send to Grumpy and I can send to Legion and a few other people so they can test it out and get it out in the. You know, hey, this knife was designed by my buddy and it's pretty awesome, or it's complete shit, and I can't believe that he designed this either. Whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
CTS,
no,
huh?
Nitro V takes a pretty awesome edge, but CTS SHP is an extremely good stainless steel for EDC, in my opinion. Nitro V is not bad either. I'm not shitting on Nitro V any, but I have rusted out quite a few Nitro V blades just in Arkansas.
Yeah, they're higher carbon. It makes them a lot tougher than regular stainless steels, but they do rust. So, and like I made my mom a kitchen knife. Well, I made a few people kitchen knives out of the Nitro V. And my mom got it to rust because you left it sitting on the counter next to the sink and just kept splashing water on it, like over, I don't know, like a week. And it rusted it. And I was like, well, that's nice. And then I go clean it all up again.
Well, this is 1095, so you shouldn't be thinking that, but like that's what happened when like a plate and some water drops after cleaning it. I was chopping up some pork chops with it.
Yeah, 1095 rust like crazy.
Yeah, I mean I expected that to happen though. It's gonna get a nice patina the more I use it.
If you ever get like the actual rusty spots, you can just take one of those oscillating hand sanders, like 220 grit, and just buff it out.
Oh man, I ain't even worried about that. It's never gonna get actual rust on it. I keep it lubed up. As soon as my wife gets done cleaning it, and yes, I'm not chauvinistic or anything. Well, I am, but my wife's conservative. If she doesn't like freaking do the dishes or have something to do, she freaks out. So don't be hating on me for saying that my wife does all the dishes and shit. That's just the culture she's from.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm wanting it to get a good patina. I want it to fill the elements, and then I'll take a little bit of alcohol, wipe it off, and then oil it up real nice. Because that's the type of guy that I am. I like micartas and stuff. I've never bought anything G10 from you, but I don't have anything wrong with G10. But to me, when you have a good micarta handle and a good solid steel blade that you can patina and make it your own. It carries even if you accidentally cut yourself, which I accidentally cut myself with everything I ever owned.
Yeah.
It becomes part of your soul. I mean, to me, it's extremely important that it shows my character. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a Spyderco in that steel and it's pure lightning. I believe that he's talking about CTX XHP. I have a cutlery sharp pair of 3 lightweight in CTX XHP, and I love it. It's pretty awesome. Don, you bumped up a bit. I don't know what that. Oh, that's Donovan too. I believe I did, brother. They're getting Donovan 2 some subscribers. Absolutely. Go subscribe to Donovan 2. He's got an excellent channel. He shows up a lot of blades from Wyatt Hines and a few other things. Check out Grumpy Grunt's channel. Check out Wyatt Hines' channel. Check out Legion Tactical Cutler's channel. And if I missed anybody else that's in the chat, I'm sorry. Pop it up and I'll give you a shout out as well. So what is in your pockets right now, Wyatt?
The newer one is the Kaiser Mini Harpoon. There we go. And OD Green. This one is it's smaller than the normal harpoon by like an inch, I think the blade is. But this one is in CPM 10V. If you've never had the 10V steel, it holds an edge like S90V or S110V.
But it's not as brittle.
It's still like kind of a weak steel, but it holds an edge like just insane. The coating is wearing off faster than it's dulling. So that tell you anything.
I've never had the mini harpoon, but Salty Red Corner Brothers and Knives sent me the Deadpool harpoon from White Mountain Knives, and I tested it out last year. And I even did some Fatwood Fridays with it. I've done some bushcraft with it. It's a pretty it punches above its weight, in my opinion. It does things that you wouldn't think it's capable of as well as actual bushcraft knives or actual working knives, in my opinion. But that steel, I believe, was, I can't remember which steel it was, but it might have been D2. I just can't exactly remember. Definitely wasn't 10V.
Yeah, I think they're D2. They had some of the D2 ones on there, but it was the 10V was a Blade HQ exclusive, and I got it like right when I got the email. I seen it, and I was like, let's get one. And like not even 12 hours later, all of them were sold out, and even the D2 ones were all sold out. It's like, man, it went quick.
Yeah. So what else is in your pockets besides the mini harpoon? You got a folder or anything?
No, I got this sitting there. It's the Bark River Bravo Vortex in 3V. This
Yeah.
thing is awesome. It's got logger G10 handles.
Whenever whenever you want to get rid of that, bro, holler at me.
Yeah, this thing is awesome, man. That's one of the best cutting Bark Rivers I have right there. But let me show. I'll show you my folding knives. I got little display case stuff. We can get looking at them here. I got a whole big display case too. Let's see if I can change the camera around. Oh, there we go. Find the mess now. Let's see. But here's I made this display case. So that's the Bark River Highwayman 3, and it has a glow in the dark pine cone handle. It's hard to see. That's the Rio Grande with the dragon scale. Those both A2. And, there's a bunch of Bark Rivers there and stuff, but let's get over here to the folders. I don't know why it's up there. Oh.
Because they're awesome. That's why.
Yes, right. So, you might get this open. So I got you. Tell me if you see anything you want to check out.
Well, man, I'm of course I see the Penguin. I see a pair PM2, or is that a pair of 3?
This is a PM2 in S45VN.
That's a sweet still. I like the S45VN. I actually like that a lot more than in a folder than a fixed.
I got a Kershaw Launch 10, Launch 1. Here's the Viper Knives Katla in titanium and M390. This
sweet little piece.
Yeah, all the milled titanium. And then got another Viper Knives here, the Fortis. This thing's a beast of a knife. It's titanium and M390.
That's a beautiful piece. I would like to check that out one day.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like $200. And then this is the butterfly knife.
Cut the crap out of your finger 100.
Yeah, this is the Kershaw carbon fiber Leecha in 20 CV. That thing is awesome. Then this one is in S35VN. It was some exclusive that I found. And this thing's actually super smooth.
I don't have a Penguin yet in S35VN. I've got M390. I've got 154 CM and D2.
This is the only knife I have in CTS XHP anymore. It's the Spartan Blades Astor.
Yeah, Spartan always does good work. I like a good Spartan blade. What's going on, Todd Carr? How you doing tonight?
This one's only $100 too for this knife. They have there are 2 versions with this steel. It's their budget line.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's the budget steel.
Well, man, I went to the Spartan counter and I handled some of the Harseys and everything else. Those things are they're the real deal. They're worth every bit of the $350, $400 we're wanting.
So this sheepdog here is in 10V as well. And this thing, I think I got this one for $60. This thing is sweet though. If you haven't had one of these sheepdogs.
No, man, I haven't even handled one.
Oh, they're awesome.
Never have. I was never into the cleaver thing.
Yeah, I think that's the only cleaver blade I have, but it is pretty sweet. And that 10V steel. This I got on sale for $60.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the Kaiser flip shank
That thing's cool.
S35. Yeah, S35 VN with titanium. Look how beefy it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're discontinued, and they put them on sale for $60. I was like, hell yeah, down for like 155.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, and of course, gotta have a Microtech. Why not? Right?
Eh.
It's see, it fails quite often.
Oh, they're easy to reset. But
Yeah,
I'm not resetting one for 300 whatever dollars.
yeah,
That's
right.
that's a UTX, so it's more like 270.
Yeah, I think so. It was around there. This ProTech here is an S45 VN. It was a HQ exclusive.
Yeah, that's more my jam right there.
Yeah, it was.
One of the knobs I'm going for next Blade Show is a Tuxedo Whiskers.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a ProTech.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't look at too many ProTechs. The Godfather's pretty cool though. I'd like to get one of those.
Yeah, the Godfather. They had a mosaic button with the mother of pearl handle. It was freaking beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then, I got this was a Vietnam memorial knife that I gave my grandpa, but he's gone now, so they gave it to me to keep. And then I got a Code 4 and S35. There's I don't know, have you heard of Forsetti steel?
No, I haven't.
Pull this out then. So Forsetti steel makes everything out of Damascus and like handmade and stuff. They're not
How's
like
it going, squirrel magnet fishing and outdoors? Hope you're doing good tonight.
they're not like the best quality ever, but they're not very expensive either. Same rate. So
You ever use that? Like
nope.
Sweeney Todd or something?
No, I've never used it, but you can see like I don't know if it'll come up. There's gaps there, and you can just like squeeze it together. So yeah.
She gapped out like my ex fiance.
And then a knife Chicken Steel gave me some old knife that I'm not really sure what it is. Here's another Forsetti steel. This one is just a trapper, but it's all Damascus and everything.
How is that Damascus? Is that thin behind the edge or is that pretty thick?
Oh no, this one's pretty thin behind the edge actually.
So it's a pretty decent Damascus folder, and I assume it's a budget.
Yeah, hard to see. But yeah, the first one of these I got, both the blades were hitting the sides of the handle, and I sent it back, and they sent me one that was actually didn't have bent blades, so that was nice of them. Here's a Buck 110. It's a custom one with the blue wood and the nickel bolsters and everything. To be honest, it's probably one of my least favorite folders of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Does not like the Buck 110s, and there goes Isaac Noob, the backwoodsman, out of the lot.
Look at it. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the blade play it has up and down, side to side.
That's pretty gnarly right there.
The grind.
I would probably send that back to Buck and see if they would replace that.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while since I ordered it, but
man, I don't think Buck would give a shit. No, man, they probably don't want their name out there like that with that kind of blade play.
Yeah, it's not a very good one. I'll tell you that. And it was like over $100.
Yeah, mine was I think it was like $140 for mine.
Yeah. Then I got a Sodbuster Junior. I've had this thing forever. Actually, this thing is scary sharp.
Yeah, I'm actually about to go to the pawn shop, Black River Pawn, out of Newport, Arkansas, and get me a couple Sodbusters for these lives to give away. I'm running out of nice knives to give away, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You
No,
find
I
your,
mean, there's nothing wrong with a sod buster. You get a $15 sod buster, man. That thing will go to work.
oh yeah. Let me show you over here now. Here's my smaller fixed blade collection. I have Double Star Chico Diablo, Spartan Blades Frike, Work River Harpoon Necker, a Rat 1, Bradford Guardian 3, a Winkler Pathfinder, Bravo 1. There's a Guardian 3.5T from Bradford, Guardian 3 Warncliffe, Southern Grind Jackal, Tops Scalpel, and then there's a G10 Miller Bros knife in there.
I got a question from OBC Gerbs. Have you ever made a folder or thinking about making a folder?
Oh, no, a couple people have asked me. I might try it at some point, but I don't even really know where to start, to be honest.
I mean, I'm by no means a bladesmith or anything like that. I'm just an enthusiast, like most of us are. You're the one who knows more about it than we do. But have you ever thought about making like maybe a shop friction folder or something like that?
I've thought about it, but I haven't ever tried to do it yet. So I'll have to try eventually. Give it a shot. I also have a 10-inch hollow grind wheel that I've never used too.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you make me smile.
This knife here, man. This is Survived Knives. Almost dropped it. TAC 5. There's only 50 of these ever made, and it's Cerakoted, and it's in 3V. I think it's just awesome.
That's a pretty serious blade right there.
Yeah, I've used it to like cut paper once.
That's your safe queen.
Yeah, and then got the Bravo clip point in 3V. This is a pretty beast of a knife. It's 3/16. But
Legion Tactical Cutlery says that he's glad he owns a buck 110 to make him realize how everything else is better. I'm joking, Grugs. I'm joking. Y'all know that the buck 110's knife of my bad's channel because everybody seemed to want that to be that. I let them vote on it, and buck 110 outclassed everything by like three times the votes.
Yeah.
So buck 110 is the channel of my bad adventures until 1,000 subs. This one I got for the 500 subscriber giveaway. I got a Slim Pro and a Boss Heat Treat S30V giveaway. I believe at 750, the number one prize will be a buck 110, but it will be a custom. And then at 1,000, the buck 110 will also be the number one giveaway, but it's going to be an auto and S30V.
Nice. Now this knife here is the Bark River Teddy, and from what I have read on it, is it's modeled after this old like Boone. It's Boone and something like Wade and Boone or Wade and Booth or something like that. It's a real old hunting knife, and it was the knife that was supposedly like inspired the MK2 K-bar knife. So this was Bark River's take on it, basically, on the original, you know.
That's a pretty sweet knife, and Tom Weingart says the buck 110 is the greatest knife that was ever made, and you're full of shit, and he just wants you to know that.
Oh, all right.
I like to put words in other people's mouths. I'm just joking. Tom Weingart didn't say that. He just said it's the greatest folding knife known to man.
Yeah. This is that Crusader that I sent in for warranty and got back.
Oh, how did that work out for you?
They get it pretty good. You see, they got that grind pretty evened out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't do bad at all. I'm not going to use this one though. I'm going to continue using my old one since I've already beat the snot out of it.
We got folder wars in the comments section. Grumpy Grunt saying that Dolica is now the best folding knife known to man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good folding knives out there.
Well, I'm quite partial to the Pair 3. I believe that's the best that's ever been made.
I just ordered. I figured out my knife ship free points. I had $83 saved up, so I ordered a Kershaw Link in 20 CV for $19 the other day. So that should be good.
That's not a bad knife. Like the leaks, I've never been like the pointy kind. I like the bellies to them. But my wife has got a golden leak, and I believe it's 14C28N. It might be one of their higher ends, but it's gold plated for whatever reason.
Yeah, this handle here glows in the dark. It's not charged up at all, but you can see it's a pine cone in there.
Yeah, that pine cone's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling handle though. It doesn't feel like it'd be very strong. This blade is a monster.
So Tom Weingard, I appreciate the congratulations on my win. I cannot wait to get the 1911 handled CJRB. I don't know the actual name of it, but we're going to call it the 1911 handle. Grumpy Grunt says a Shaman is the best folder of all time. I own 2 Shamans, Grumpy. I still want my pair 3. I love the Shaman. There's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, here's one right here. Keep it right here with me. But I'm a pair 3 guy. And that's the reason why. That nub right there kills me. Let's see what else we got. Oh, by the way, Midway USA is selling 3V Natchez buoys for $3.99 if anyone is interested. Legion, do you have a Midway USA tag or something that we should know about? Maybe I should pay attention to your descriptions. Wyatt Hines, see you, sir. Your knobs similar to me, laughed out loud, pegboards, awesome, and toolboxes, of course. Grumpy Grunt, and hey, Big Red, how's it going, JB? Hope you're doing good tonight. And then we got a bunch of people saying hi to JB.
Nice. Now, this Guardian 6 here.
Yeah, I believe that BC was asking about that.
Well, it was a blemish one. They sent an email, said, "Oh, we have a blemish sale going." It was like 25% off. So I think it was $60 off is what it was. And it's full flat grind 3V, and it just said mystery. So I had no idea what was coming.
You gotta love them seconds, man.
Yeah, this thing is like sweet knife. I thought these flat scales were going to be like pretty rough on your hands, but they're actually not bad at all.
I would assume that they probably lock in pretty good, especially with the texture that's on them with the blockiness. I know that you're not a big Buck 110 fan because we just talked about it, but Buck's original design was a lot more blockier than today's design because the founder of the Buck knives, he felt like it locked in to your hand a lot better with the blocky design.
Yeah, it does. Like I figured out that the flat scales will actually lock in better most of the time than some of these palm swells will, because the palm swells, like, you have a hard time trying to get a grip with your index finger and your pinky if they're too small. And this knife here is a pretty good example of that.
BC says that the Bradford Guardian 6, I'm assuming is the one he's talking about, is about the perfect bush blade.
Yeah, it's a beast. See, get the full flat grind on there if you get one, because it cuts a lot better. Like this one is the 5.5 with a saber grind, and it doesn't cut nearly as well as that one does. But like this palm swell thing here, when you're holding your knife really tight, you can never get like this very tight. You still shake your knife around and stuff if that palm swell is too small, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where if you have these flat scales like this, it locks in there solid and you can't shake it at all.
Donovan, too, wants to see the Miller Brothers Big Blade.
The big one. The M21. Yeah, I'll show you that ridiculously overpriced thing. I spent $620 on this. This is the most expensive knife I've ever bought, and it's the most useless knife I've ever owned. You can't do nothing with it. It's so thick behind the edge and so thick ground, it literally won't cut like anything. It's just for smashing shit.
Is that a pretty expensive blade?
It was when I originally bought it. It was 620, but if you
Woo!
go and look now, they're probably over $1,000.
Yeah, probably you probably don't want to dick around with that one. I was gonna suggest maybe you go regrind it, but nah,
Oh,
hard pass.
I've already reground it a little bit. It didn't help it though. Now this Miller Bros, the M9, I reground this one too. It was thick behind the edge, but you can see the coating is basically gone. I've used the hell out of this.
JB, man, I appreciate you stepping in on my live. You have a good night. Be safe, brother. Yeah, Donovan says it's a freaking monster, smashing monster, I reckon. We gotta stay blessed from Mr. BC. Mr. BC Jerbs is always a sweetheart in the comment section, along with Miss Kimbers. We got a hi from Tom to Donovan, and BC's guy says you got to be kidding me on that blade for 640 or 1,000. I'm assuming he's talking about, because I would be saying the same thing about that thick boy. Get back to the mat lift, JB. He's telling him to go ahead and bust out them push-ups. Y'all already know that old my bad's the push-up king around here anyways. Night, JB. Have a good one, Todd Carr says. And BC Jerb says, over 1K. Man. So is that your most expensive fix, would you say, or do you got something a little bit more pricey than that one?
Well, I mean, depending on the rarity, some of these might be more expensive. I don't know. Because sometimes these survive knives go for stupid amounts of money, especially if you can't get them. Like
Right.
for their GSO 5, when they when they weren't making them, you could find them on eBay every now and again, but they'd be like $800. You'd be like, my God. Yeah, here's the Zombie Tools Parabellum.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, how they do this coating on here. I heard them say it. They take the dust they get from grinding these aluminum handles down, and they throw it on there, and then put some acid on there, and it causes that reaction.
Man, I need something like that. Like, yeah, I have this, and this is what the main purpose for this is. But I need a machete or something like that, just to go out there and hack them saplings down out in the woods. So bad.
Here's my $5 machete I've had for I don't know how long. It's got concrete epoxy and all kinds of stuff on it.
So what kind of trees are you macheting down in the deserts of the outskirts of Reno?
I'll show you. So I have this tree right here outside my window, and I have one more tree over there by that plastic shed, and
the rest is tumbleweeds.
Yeah, and I trim those up. That's all I do. Ain't nothing else, man. It's terrible.
BC, I have a wind battery powered chainsaw. Yes, you can call me a wuss all y'all want, but I'm not cranking on no gas powered chainsaw for half an hour trying to get the damn thing to start. I'm gonna pop a battery in it and push a button, and it's gonna go.
I mean, my old Husqvarna chainsaw starts up no problem all the time.
Yeah, but that's a Husqvarna. I mean, I've got an Echo, I've got a Pouland, and I've got a Steel. The Echo starts up every time, but if I'm gonna go do some light, quick work, I'm gonna go grab the little Chinese win for the win.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
The highway buoy is freaking beautiful, as what Donovan 2 says. Tom Weingart says $800. I paid less for some cars I've owned. Well, Tom, so have I.
About one for 500.
BC Jerv says he doesn't hate on my chainsaw preferences. He has both electronic and gas. So BC, even up in British Columbia, Canada, is with me on the chainsaws. Now, I reckon you know what knife this is. We've talked about it a couple times already today. We're not really going to be talking about the blade work or anything, but we're going to talk about this handle profile, the materials, and how you get such a beautiful, perfectly mounted handle with the brass bolsters and pommels the chili pepper red, and I wanna stress this: the chili pepper red micarta, especially since my ring light went out as soon as me and him got in the green room, it just quit on me. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new ring light soon. The camera can't do the chili pepper red justice. It is probably this is probably my second favorite handle of any knife I own. And y'all know that I got some pretty awesome bark rivers. There's nothing really that's gonna compare with that black and green lizard skin handle on my Bark River lightweight bushcrafter. But this is so beautiful, especially with the orange liners.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about some of the handle materials that you have, some of your favorite handle materials, what you think looks the best, some of the color profiles that you like to put in with the handles. Like I would suggest like white liners on a black burlap micarta or something like that. What are your preferences?
Well, I mean, I did the one I did for my impaler was that chili pepper red with white liners. That chili pepper red does look good. And then they came out with this like blue micarta now. I was thinking about getting some of that. That might look pretty good.
Oh, if you get that, we're definitely doing blue micarta because channel colors of NBA is orange and blue. We got to do something in that profile.
Yeah, the blue
Um,
micarta with orange liner.
Here's Campfire Leatherworks pouch that I had to steal from Grumpy Grunt. He got one. I got jealous of him, so I had Iggy make me one, and that is exactly what I want right there. If we can do something like that.
Like a lot of people like that ivory G10. Like everybody says it's white, but it's not white. It's like a bone color, and that with red liners, like bright red liners, looks really good. Even dark red liners still look good.
Sharp Guy ETX, man. Wyatt's Kydex work is top notch. This is a sandwich Kydex sheath. This is a sandwich Kydex sheath. Um, but the retention in them, you can hear a little bit of blade play, but this is a pretty big knife. You're going to have a little play inside there, but it's very, very minimal. I'm shaking the crap out of this, and it's not going to come out. I could probably wear it upside down in the woods on my back if I wanted to, and I have no problem with it going anywhere. It's going to stay there. I literally have to put my thumb right there and push off to get the knife out. The Kydex is absolutely phenomenal. Wyatt's Kydex is it's worth the money. Every freaking penny that Wyatt. I'm not trying to kiss your butt too much. I don't need that much brown on my nose, but Wyatt does a fantastic job.
Thanks, man. But that jackal sheath, the way that little brass guard is when it curves down, when you first make that sheath, you can't even get the knife back out of it. You'll stick it in there, it'll click in, and then it will not come back out because that guard is hooked on the inside of that Kydex. And you have to heat up right where that is and like pull it out and like push it in and like slowly work it as it's cooling down to get it to loosen up just enough to where you can actually get the knife in and out, but not have your knife falling out. Yeah, it's a pain. Sometimes you have little edges of the handle that'll catch on the inside of the Kydex too. You gotta buff little edges down and whatnot. You gotta work with it there for a minute and play with it and just figure out how to go in there the best way.
So, I don't know anything about making Kydex. The videos that I've seen on making the Kydex cheese, pretty much have like just a microwave and a 2x4 or a wood press with some 1 inch foam insulation on the inside of it. You heat up the Kydex, you put the knife with a whole bunch of tape around it into it, and then you press it down and just lock it down. Is that about the gist of what you do, or do you have something a little bit more fancier?
I electric griddle that put like pancakes and stuff on, and they it heats up so bad, it's so uneven that I had to put like a 3/4 inch thick plate of steel on top to even out the heat, and it still doesn't even really even it out best. And I'll put the Kydex on there to heat it up, and you want to get it to about 300 degrees, because that's when it's nice and flexible and it'll stick a little bit. Any more than that, it'll like melt together, and any less, it won't stick when you press it. And then that'll cause problems when you try to put the eyelets in. But I bought my foam from knifekits.com or something it was, and I bought like the highest grade foam they had to get the most detail and the most life out of it. And it's like, I think $17 a foot or something for a square foot. So the last press I just made, that's 2 feet long, it was $70 just for the foam for the damn thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and then I just make the rest of the press out of plywood, 2x4s, and then I buy some big cheap hinges, and I'll cut them down to size and drill new holes and use those to have heavy duty hinges on there. And then you just press it, leave it for about 15 minutes, and pull it apart, and you can mark and drill out your eyelets and everything. And then go from there. And then once you get it all, the eyelets and everything in there, then you can start trying to shape it and working the knife in there, and then you have to hand sand it, and just it's all kinds of little things you got to go through.
Todd Carr was asking, Wyatt, do you tape your steel before pressing your Kydex? If it's thin enough, should give just enough wiggle room when finished.
Yeah, I use like masking tape or painter's tape. I do one layer. I used to do more layers. I did 3 at first, but the sheets were loose. So I did 2 layers, but they still had a little wiggle. And with 1 layer, you get a real snug fit, and it'll still, I still have a little bit of extra space in there where it's not like pinching the crap out of your knife as you're trying to put it in.
Well, Donovan, too, is pulling a my bad right now and kissing a little bit of butt. He said, fellows, I enjoyed this so much. Thank you, Wyatt, for making such awesome cutlery. And my bad, thank you, brother, for just being awesome and bringing the community together. Well, Donovan, man, I love you guys. I love you ladies that come and watch us, and the people that I watch, and the whole entire community when we communicate together on IG, over the telephone, whatever. There's no community like this community, in my opinion, where 99, I'm gonna say 99. I'm probably overshooting a little bit, but 95% of us are genuine good people. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bad egg here and there, but it's not about me bringing the community together. It's people like BC, people like Grugs, people like Wyatt and me, Grumpy, everybody getting together. And no, not all of our opinions are the same, but at the same token, we're not fighting and bickering like a bunch of little high school children about crap. That's what I like about the community. We can all get along. We got our own opinions of what we like, and we can talk about it. Since I went on a stupid ramble, we got BC Gerb's round of applause for both my bad and Mr. Wyatt. Legion Tactical Cutlery is giving us the fist bump back to you. Take care, brother Donovan, too. Donovan, have a good one, man, if you're out. Oh, okay. So earlier I was talking about what was in your pockets. And you really didn't have an EDC at the time, but what is your normal EDC carry when you're around the shop?
Well, the little fixed blades are pretty good. Either that, or I'll have like a inexpensive folder, because if you have something nice in your pocket, like the folder wise, they'll get metal shavings and stuff all worked into the bearings and everything else, and then you have to take it all apart.
I would probably think that you're probably a phosphor bronze guy like I am.
Well, I got both. The phosphor bronze knives I have are really smooth, and then the ball bearing ones, I do get gummed up. Out here being in the desert with so much dust and dirt, you just carry them around in your pocket, they will start getting gritty and gnarly. So the phosphor bronze does actually work better than the ball bearings in the long run for gun cup wise, I guess.
Yeah, BC, I absolutely agree with that. But what I was talking about within this community, we don't have to bitch and bicker and argue about the little minute differences of opinions on knives. Does it cut? Does it do the job? Yeah. Do you like it? Yeah. Do you like it? No. That's about it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's cool talking to you. It's cool talking to Wyatt. I've had conversations with Mr. Wyatt that reached until, I mean, it was like 9 p.m. He's West Coast and I'm Central, but I almost talked to him until midnight a couple of different times. It's just good to have people talk to that that has the same likes that you interest, the same interest as we all do. Tom says if we all thought alike, it'd be a pretty boring world. Well, once the metaverse comes, we're all going to be thinking alike, anyways, Tom. 100% truth right there. Grumpy Grunt says, I like my phosphor bronze washers more than bearings on most knives. I agree, Grumpy. I got two knives right here that are bearings that I like a lot, and I got to clean out soon, and they're not going anywhere. They're going to become my knives. And I got a knife right here that is phosphor bronze, I'm pretty sure. Yes, they are, that I'm giving away to a lucky winner tonight. But we'll get to that later. So you like the fixed blades and everything. I like to carry a fixed blade and a folder when I'm at work on the job. Most of the fixed blades that I'm carrying though lately have been review knives that I need to do a review on, and I keep on the Plethros, I believe is what this one's called. It's Elijah Isham design. This is what I've been carrying for the past couple of days on the job, and this is the giveaway knife tonight. Um, Before that, I was carrying this, and it's not the Nomad, but it's the Nomad type um, um, of design of Asher knives. It's got the harpoon. I just can't ever remember the actual name of it. And this knife, I'm starting to find flaws in it. When I saw it at Blade Show, it was the Century 2.0 is what Grumpy Grunt says. The Century 2.0. So it's the Asher Knives Century 2.0. This is the CJRB Pyrite. Now, this was going to be my budget knife of the year, and it right now it still is budget knife of the year. But I'm finding a lot of flaws in it, and it's like minor nitpicky flaws on it.
Yeah.
But there are also flaws that I know that CJRB can do better at. So
Yeah.
for one, I'm going to point this out in my video when I do it in a couple of days. If y'all can see that right there, that pocket clip is not recessed. That pocket clip on both sides can be recessed. There's no in today's day of age of EDC pocket carry, regardless if it's budget or high end, there's no reason that a pocket clip or pocket clip screws should not be recessed. I don't care what your budget is unless you're under $40. If you're above $40, it needs to be recessed. The pivot right here is a double pivot screw, and they're T8. There's no problem with T8, but I do not like double pivot screws, and the rest of the hardware is T6.
Yeah.
T6 for a guy like me is a problem because I take my knives apart and I clean them and I make sure that they're top notch and ready to run. So that's a problem. No, that's my two nitpicks. Besides that, fun to fish with, middle finger flick. Got that smooth action on the button, just buttery smooth. I just put my thumb right there and go up. Hardly any problem. Detent is fantastic. It's still a great knife. It's in our AR RPM 9, and it's steel scales, but they're milled out. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not so much that it's uncomfortable in the pocket. I believe that this is a fantastic knife. There's just a couple little nitpicks that can make it better. T8 all the way around. Pivot collar with one pivot screw would be great. Besides that, I really can't nitpick it more than that.
Yeah, that makes some good folders nowadays. That I heard a lot of good things about those CRGB people. I think one of my friends had one before, and he loved that little knife all the time. He broke the tip off a couple times, but he loved it. And Chuck and Steel says a lot of good things about him too, but I've never owned one. So I was thinking about getting one in that steel they have, like it's only they use or something. I forget what it's called. Something weird though. But Chuck and Steel swears by it though. He says it's a real good steel.
Well, that's probably their proprietary powder metallurgy steel. It is the only budget powder steel on the market, and it's based off of non-CR18 MOV, and that's their AR RPM non-steel, and it is fantastic. I've had a RIA in it. I've had a couple other steels in it, and it's probably my favorite budget steel, period. I've got a problem with this knife because I got to send it to two different guys, and I still want to carry it for at least a week and do a solid review on it before I give it away. One other person's going to do a review on it. The other person's going to pimp it out for me. All right, let's see what we got. Todd Carr says what drives him nuts is, in his opinion, is when a knife has no captive pivot and only one side has tooling for a bit. I agree on that because it's a pain in the ass to get that thing to seat properly with no blade play. But the problem that I have with a double-sided tool is you got to get two sets of tools. And I've got like 3 Walmart sets because I always forget where I put them, and I forget where I put my good Weehas at. But these are the only properly heat-treated tool bits that I have. These are not inexpensive. These are about $30 a pop. I can just go to Walmart and get some for $7, but I'm gonna strip that T6 out, Ricky Tick.
Yeah, I bought some Linux or something, some little bits from Lowe's, and the T6, the bit itself, the end of it's all twisted.
Yeah, even my Weehas, the T6 twisted, but it hasn't broken yet.
Yeah, this one hasn't broke either. It still use it too. And they're all
Yes.
security ones with like a little hole in the center.
Yes, that is a Bark River that Mr. Wyatt Hines is holding, and yes, this is the Bark River that I'm holding. This is my EDC. This is the first production run of the Bark River Persian. This was a gift from my really good friend, Salty Red Corner. Y'all probably seen it 100 times on this channel. This is my usual EDC, and that is the Bravo 1 with the ramp and the lanyard hole.
No, this one's the Bravo Vortex.
Vortex. I'm sorry, Bravo Vortex.
I think it has a longer blade, but it's the same thickness and everything as the Bravo one.
Yeah, Grumpy, you're absolutely right. It is going to Salty, but I got to send it to All Things Knives as well. And Grumpy, if you would like to do a review on the pyrite, I will send it to you first and let you send it off to All Things Knives of Fletcher, and then Fletcher can send it to Salty. And 6 months later, I'll get it back if you want. Yeah, a lot of my stuff does come up missing, Mr. Tom, but we end up finding it. The only thing that I haven't found is a package of stickers that I had made from Sticker Mule, and I have no clue what happened to them or where they went. Speaking of, there's Minnie, Little Bad, or Big Bad, whatever y'all want to call her. It's my sweetheart. BC says, I'm so impressed with Bark River knives. Bark River is a tits. Bark River is I got to get me some LT right before I say that Bark River, in my opinion, is the best production knife company there is. But Bark River is the absolute tits, in my opinion.
See that cut that tissue? A little harpoon necker?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I've been using this thing for like a week too, and it's still sharp enough to cut a tissue.
That's freaking awesome. Iggy's in the house. How's it going, Miss Iggy? I was just talking about how jealous I was of Grumpy Grunt for his fire kit. So I got this. I've already took the Altoids tin out. I put one of Gene and Kayla's tins in, and I got my little fire kit ready. And I appreciate this so much. It's beautiful. BC says that Bushcrafters 3V is amazing. I agree on the Bark Rivers 3V's absolutely awesome. That little necker knife that he has is in 10V.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool too. I've never personally used 10V though. So I'm taking a lot of what Wyatt is saying about it. Super, super edge retentive. I would, from what you're saying, but the toughness isn't all the way there.
That's not very tough steel. And the only people I see that use it is the Blade HQ exclusives, like the mini sheepdog and the regular sheepdog, and then this one. And this one pulled out super fast. But you can still get the sheepdogs in that steel too, and it's just as good. It's crazy edge retentive.
I would probably be the worst wide receiver because every freaking ball that's thrown my way is going to get dropped. So I kind of shy away from S90V, S110V, 10V, blade steels of that nature because I'm going to drop it. And as soon as I drop it and I pick it up, it's going to get shattered like my cell phone face. And it's going to hurt bad.
Yeah. I haven't dropped it yet, but hopefully it doesn't break when it does drop.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, every time that I believe that we've personally had a conversation about knives, I've always talked about toughness, and toughness is probably the most important aspect for a knife, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the toughest steel I know of really is the 8670. It's the stuff Southern Grind uses, and it's like 52 foot-pounds of tensile strength, and then 3V is like 42, and 1095 is 10. So that 8670 is like 5 times as tough as 1095. It's
Yeah, but
crazy.
1095 is insane. I mean, if it's done right.
Yeah.
Some production knife company that does it right, off the top of my head, would be Essie. I was trying to say Essie, but Tops is Tops and Essie. I mean, I guess I would put Tops on like one step above Essie in a way, but Essie's customer service. I guess the reason why I'd put Tops one step above is Tops, in my opinion, their price is just one step above. But Essie's customer service, you just can't beat that.
I don't understand why more of them don't use the 80 CRV2, because it's the same price as 1095. It basically has the same edge retention. It has a little bit better corrosion resistance, and then it's 3 times as tough as 1095. So you think you could swap it out for any 1095 knife and it would make it even better, but a lot of people don't know what that steel is, so they'll stick with their 1095 instead of trying the 80 CRV2 sort of deal.
Well, this ADC RV2 that I'm holding right here is an absolute beast. We're really going to test it out this year. We're going to see if it holds up to what you're saying. And to be honest with you, I have no doubt in my mind that it will.
That's what I made that impaler knife I made out of, that I would beat the snot out of in that one video. And I tried, I was going straight through that knot, and I gave up everything I had. I didn't think it was going to go through there for a minute. I just kept on hitting it. Eventually it popped through. And it didn't even dull it, I don't think.
So we got Grugs and Mr. Grumper Grunt absolutely agreeing with what Wyatt is saying. Machining costs, maybe, or the heat treatability is what Todd Carr's asking is the reason why that they do not use the ADC RV2. Is it the heat treat? Is there any differences? I don't believe there is, since you yourself perfectly heat treated my ADC RV Jackal. Or is it the machining cost? Was there any machining cost in your opinion?
It could be machining cost. It is a little bit, since it is tougher, it does take longer to grind down and stuff. So that could be it, is that it might be more to machine it down and grind it down and everything. Because the 5160 and leaf spring and everything, those are the easiest ones to grind down, which you wouldn't think the 5160 would be that easy to grind down since it's even tougher than 80 CRV2, but it is for some reason. And then yeah, the 80 CRV2 is pretty tough to grind down. The Nitro V is like ridiculous to grind down. It's such a stupid hard steel to work with.
Well, we're at the hour 20 mark of the show, so you mind telling us what's going on with the future of Wyatt Hines blades?
Well, I'm gonna get out of doing all the custom things. It's just too much of a hassle and everything. So I'm just gonna go on to, coming up with some designs and making them every now and again or something and selling them off and seeing or if anybody wants one, I'll sell it. But then I also want to make myself some knives too. I haven't had a chance to make myself any knives at all. I've made the one impaler and that was it. I haven't made nothing else in like a year and a half of doing this, and I have like a stack of designs I want to make. So hopefully making myself some stuff too.
Well, I'm extremely excited in seeing a couple of your designs, and we got about 2 months out before I'm at the point where maybe 1 month. I'm starting to get a lot of jobs myself in right now. I'm super busy all the time, but I would say we're within a month or 2 months out before I can give you a shipment of the CTS XHP, and we start really getting into my design as well. But you personally are not that far away from making your own designs. In my opinion, you shouldn't be. But I'm extremely excited to see what you got. And maybe I can get a couple more blades from you as well. I'm sure Donovan out there somewhere driving or doing whatever Donovan does is extremely excited for your designs as well.
Oh yeah, Donovan will probably always try to buy them. He's always there. He always like the first one. He'll ask me every now and again too if I have any blades laying around. Just chicken, like
Yeah.
anybody bail out on you again, get an extra blade I can buy.
Todd Carr says that 5160 is a great still in the cold. You and me both, Mr. My Bad. Looking forward to seeing what Mr. White has in mind on. Oh, we was talking about it. I believe that you're wanting to do some buoys, some old school buoy designs, some things like that. So yeah, most definitely looking forward to this. We got 13 people in the live, so I figure a 25 point description is in order. I think I'm gonna pick a 0 to 24, and Mr. Wyatt Hines can either think of his number and write it down on a piece of paper. I'll let him write it down before we get to give the go number. The Civivi Plethros is Elijah Ischam design. I've got to be completely honest with you. Whoever wins this knife, give me a day or two or maybe a week before I send it off to you, as I still got to do the review on this. But this is tonight's giveaway knife. I hope y'all appreciate this one. This knife was donated to the channel by my good buddy Salty Redcorn of Brothers of the Knives. He's a wonderful blade brother of mine. Please go check him out. He was on the live about 3 weeks ago, and we're looking to bring him back within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get him back on the channel as well. And maybe he'll have a couple of new videos popping out soon. But you got your number down?
Yeah, I get the number down.
All right, go ahead and put the start button up. It's 0 to 24. I just can't think of what it's called. The number margin, whatever.
Yeah.
There's Grumpy with the rules. One guess only. Closest without going over wins. In case of a tie, there will be a knife off. I've never had a knife off, to be honest with you.
I see Tom says that trying to turn a hobby into a business probably takes all the fun out of it.
Well,
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
I can see that in one way, but a man that has worked for himself a couple of different times and a man that has worked for a bigger company at others, there's pros and cons to both of them, in my opinion. When I'm working for myself, I don't normally have to take shit from anybody else, but the pressure is all on me to get the job done.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I have workers, and yes, they do a fantastic job for me as well. But at the end of the day, it's not them that has to come up. That has. I'm the one that's at fault if anything goes wrong. I'm the one that gets the praise when things go right.
Yeah.
I'm the quarterback of the situation. But when I'm with another company, I don't always have to perform well, but that's also a personal decision that I take upon myself to perform well, so the business does good, so I get paid more in the future.
Yeah.
So I can see where maybe you turning your blade craft into a business for yourself isn't as fun as it used to be when you used to do it just for shits and giggles. But on the same token, doesn't it feel good just to be in your own shop with your own tools, doing your own thing for yourself than rather than for somebody else?
I mean, yeah, I can't do anything anyway, so I had to do something. That what it was the therapist told me that I needed to dive into any hobby I can as much as I can to distract myself from depression because my whatever's wrong with me will never get better. So with the depression and everything, it's only going to get worse, and I just need to have to take my mind off it because there's no helping it apparently. And so I started making the knives and everything, and going out there and doing all that, and then it just went from there. Basically, people just started wanting more, and I just kept making them. And now it's like,
Well, the thing about it is that you do fantastic work, and I believe, and I'm not trying to jack up your process for everybody else, but this is not a $160 knife, Wyatt.
yeah, I know. But like I said, I wasn't trying to make money at it before. I was just trying to do it to do it, and now I'm like losing money, So it's not.
You're underselling yourself, Wyatt, in my opinion. I don't want to pay a whole bunch of money, but on the same token, I need to be paying what it's worth, and that's a $250-300 knife any day of the week. I don't give a shit who you are. That thing's fantastic.
Thank you, man.
You do great work. Your depression and stuff like that. Listen, you probably hear this 100 times a day, but this community is here for you. I personally enjoy the conversations we have. I like you. You're my buddy. I will go to bat for you any day of the week, and I have done that online, in person before. I'm not going to bullshit you. You're my buddy, and if you ever need somebody to talk to, you can come talk to me. I'm absolutely positive you got Donovan you can go talk to. BC will talk to you. Grumpy will talk to you. Any of us will.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You're a good dude as well. Man, every time I talk to you, you're just a solid guy. There's always A+ in my book. You're my friend as well.
I appreciate it, man. That's the end of the time. Go ahead and put the stop marks up. Show your number, Wyatt, and we'll go through here and see who won this Elijah Isham Plethros. Oh, we got 24. 24 it is. It was the top of the bill. Ah. BC, the spread was 0-24. Man, I think we have a winner, and that winner is Gruggs of Legion Tactical Cutlery. Gruggs came in with a win of 18. Nobody got above 18 on the guesses. So Gruggs, man, I got your address. As long as it's the same, I'll send it up there to New York to you, brother. But Wyatt, I appreciate you, man. We got to do this again in another month or two. We got to have us another conversation. Maybe we'll be talking about your own personal designs coming out and the price points of them, the colors, the G10, whatever, the materials that you're using, and we'll get a conversation going on that. And hopefully we'll be talking about my production knives as well. But that's the end of this live. Anything that you would like to say?
I mean, congrats to Grugs for winning. And that's it, I guess. I don't know. Thanks for everybody that stopped in.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody watching tonight. If y'all don't know about Wyatt, please go check out his channel. Give him a like, share, and subscribe. Comment on a few of his videos. Take a look at his shop and what he's working with. And as for me, y'all know the old trope. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment on my bad's videos. Tell on my bad what you'd like to see him do. Y'all have a good one now. Bye-bye.